Hi, my name is Kara Clark. I want to make a few small comments about the presentation earlier. One thing that concerned me was that we had made phone calls to see why people left the district, but I'm wondering why we didn't ask why and why there's no records of the why people left the district, because that is the key element that we haven't really heard about. I'd still love to get that answered. And thank you for the presentation on the funds. I think that that will clarify a lot of people's confusion over the funds of where they come from. But we also need to remember we need to keep people voting for the funds to keep our bond funds, and people are dissatisfied. So, how are we going to get our community back together? And one of those things that I'm going to ask you today is please do not vote on any of the board policy today. We know that it was put in the consent agenda instead of being a conversation, and it was just changed this morning. I think a lot of people feel like they were kind of run over by this and surprised by it. I don't think we're ready to talk about it. And I think that even when I was looking at it, a lot of the language is said we were looking at based on legislation changes. And I looked at all the legislation, and the only thing that I saw that was different was that the board is now mandatory reporters. And so the rest of the language has changed. I don't know why it's changed. You guys might be privy to other information, but I couldn't find any information in the legislation as to why there's so many changes in the policy, as well as the change in how we're going to be evaluating the superintendent. Because you guys, as if the community doesn't know, and the board cannot talk about this in closed rooms, you guys can only talk about it here. So you haven't talked about it. There's been a lot of changes. I'm looking forward to you talking about it, but I'm asking you to slow down and hopefully talk about it and look at the legal and talk to legal and see why these are really changing before you take a vote, because this is really important when we're in a place where the community isn't trusting the administration. We need to slow down and be very respectful of the community's needs, or we will never earn the trust back for people to come back to this district. Thank you.